Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hop Pole Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Steele, and joining me for the first time in what feels like forever is Liam. Hello.
Hello. I'm a ninja as well. Look, see, ninja.
You are a ninja. The more you move,
That's how long it's been. I've been training. Well, in this dark room, I don't think you would, to be honest.
Yes.
I'm having to put something bright on my monitor just so that it lights me up a little bit.
Your light's all gone bang.
Boom. Well, I've got one big lamp that usually fills this because the rest of the room is filled with LEDs. So it's just ambient now. But winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Oh, there we go. Sorry, there's loads and loads of gain on your mic that's blowing out everybody's ears, and that's my fault. There we go.
Sorry, everyone.
How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been all right. Busy. Doing quite a bit of app building actually at the moment.
App building. App man. Denna. Which reminds me, have you seen the new Batman trailer?
I've seen a little bit of it. I've not seen it in full.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ash was saying he looks like he'd play a better Joker than he would Batman. He's like really dark looking.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, definitely worth sit yourself in a dark room, put that trailer on. Because yeah, it was. I'm excited, looking forward to it. But cool. Yeah, that's the only thing that's happened to me this week.
The only thing.
The only thing that has happened.
Are you pointing at your shirt or rubbing your nipples? I can't quite make decide.
Why not both? Why not both? Yeah, 42 Gear Street 2 was incredible. So coming up tonight, we're going to tell you all about this week's gear news. And then we are going to talk all about 42 Gear Street 2. And I think that some of the people I was with in that whole week are going to pop into the chat and say hi. So that will be a lot of fun. So let's roll the intro. Yeah, this t-shirt's awesome. Henning had them made. And I also have a really nice bag, like a proper Egyptian cotton bag that Henning's mum had embroidered with 42 Gear Street. That's a real personal touch. Yeah, it's awesome. So I've been away, as you would have seen this time last week. That was the very start of 42 Gear Street 2, and most of us still had some energy at that point. I feel like I've had a whiplash because I've been so busy and then suddenly just shapow nothing that it's been absolutely burnarners. Oh, Al in chat, yeah, talking about hot pole t-shirts and a merch store. I'm still planning it. It's gonna happen. But that's one of the things that's on the ever-growing list. So I'm planning it. I've been looking into... first thing I thought of was mugs. I'd quite like a Hot Pole Studios mug to drink out of on camera. That'd be nice.
I think one of the things that we've always looked into is the fact that we'd always been in a position where we'd have to drop ship because we just couldn't afford to buy any inventory. Yes. Whereas now with the course doing well and so much support on Patreon increasing, yes, we actually probably can afford to actually get a bit of inventory. But I think it'll still be good. We can do things as well, like create some designs and get people to vote on ones that they prefer. So from our point of view, it means that we're kind of almost not necessarily need to do pre-selling, but pre-selling the idea of what people will like, and also means that people then are getting stuff that they want and not stuff they don't want.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that it's... because if I just get Hop Pole Studios across the t-shirt, if it turns out that's not what people want, then maybe something slightly different. Like I had a few funny ideas. Like one of the things I was talking in the Discord a couple of weeks ago, actually, to the guys about having just a little cutout of the faders in Reaper with them all in red with looks fine. Hot Pole Studios. Something like that that's just really funny, and you know, that kind of thing may be the way to go.
Yeah, if anyone's got any ideas, and obviously, I mean, you can chat. I'll mock some stuff up in Photoshop.
Yes,
and if anyone wants maybe go through them on a podcast. That's a good podcast.
If anyone wants to drop ideas in on Discord, then someone's going to drop the Discord link in the description. Get on there, get talking to us, throw your ideas in the ring. Why not?
Or send your designs in.
Oh yeah, do all the
Are we at
work
that
for us.
stage
That'd be
yet?
great. But yes, thank
And
you
we'll
to
give,
everybody
and
for
if anyone
supporting
does, we'll
us.
give you a royalty on them as well. How about that? I'm not sure. It might only be a penny, but we won't sell millions of them. But
Yeah. Yeah, there were lots of ideas there from Marty. That's absolutely right. We did have a good talk about this. But we will expand, we will Photoshop, we will sketch, and we'll get on that. Yeah, I'm editing like a madman now. So that's one of the reasons why that's not been my focus since I got back, because my word, so much content. We all got SSDs from Henning, 480 gig SSDs. Mine's half full. Some of the lads are completely full, and that's from 4 filming days.
nice.
And yeah, consider that there were 14 of us, and most of those drives are at least half full from a 4-day shoot. That's a lot of footage. But yeah,
Wow.
it was amazing the way that it was done. It was all using Blackmagic switcher systems, so that everything was filmed live with a multi-monitor switching system. And so whoever was running the switcher, that's it. That was your edit. You get it. You're done. So you've got to be on the ball on the switcher, which is why I ended up doing several switches for people, because I got the hang of it fairly quick. Being a tech nerd, that's me. And yeah, once it's done, it's all 4K, high resolution, done. So all you have to do really is put a bit of a color grade on it, put your intro and outro on, make sure your sound's right, just check for any bits that shouldn't be in there, and that's it. Put some funny bits in and off you go. So I've already edited 5 of the videos from there in a day. So yeah. No hanging about. But yeah, I got to work with the amazing Jack Gardner, who is a great guitarist, lovely lad who now lives in Switzerland. I also got to work with the guy who made all the lick library stuff, Jamie Humphreys, who, if you ever got any of the DVDs as a kid of like how to play guitar, it was probably Jamie. He seriously, like all the younger guitarists there went up to Jamie and were like, "I learned how to play guitar from you." It was weird, but really cool. Yeah, he used to be the lead guitarist in the We Will Rock You stuff, and at one point he was the second guitarist in Brian May's band.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a guy who knows everybody and has done everything. Yes. I don't think I actually filmed the animals, but there were lots of animals there and there was lots of filming being done. I am going to be making a vlog about it, but it's going to be relatively light on content, to be honest with you, because we were so focused, all of us, on getting the proper videos done, quote unquote, that we ran around so much we didn't really have time to get the extra vlog cameras out. So it was really a positive that, yeah, we were so busy making friends with all the brands as well, all the people there. So there's going to be a lot of videos coming from the companies who were there, who either we didn't get time to demo their products or we didn't get time to really go super in depth. We're going to be sent a fair amount of stuff to do. There's going to be a lot to catch up on with this. I did the clever thing before we left of I took a big suitcase, only half full. So on the way back, I had a bit of a word with the Hughes and Kettner guys, and I now have in my possession the Black Spirit 200 to do a full review on in the next coming weeks. So that will be very, very interesting, because that's a real clever amp. It's a lot going on in that. Yeah. Amongst many, many other things.
About it?
It's all digital, but it doesn't sound like it. It's got all sorts of clever features. It sounds like you can there's effects inbuilt. You can change the output with your iPad. But it's also really loud. And loud is good. More loud is more.
Change it with your iPad? Like, what, Bluetooth or?
Yeah, I think it's Bluetooth. So there's like cab emulation in it, which you can change, but all the settings you can change off your iPad. Store settings. And then you can... Cool. Yeah. And then you can change all the patches with MIDI. So if you're running a live show and you've got just a MIDI cable running to it, you can have it timed, change all the settings, that kind of thing. Very, very clever. Nice. But there was so much to do with that that I thought, you know what, I'll do this as a proper separate video and convince them, lovely guys, to put it in my luggage.
Nice.
Yes. So yes, I also played quite possibly the loudest guitar amp ever.
What was that then?
It was if you ever heard, my Mustang guitar is by Sun.
Mm-hmm.
So Sun are known in like the doom metal community for making an amp called the Model T, and you haven't been able to buy them for years. They weigh as much as a man, and like they're about 40 kilos for an amp head. Just the head, not including the speakers. Just the head, 40 kilos. New headphones, yes, I'll talk about them in a second. And so this guy, Chris Jupiter, has made the Omacht, which is a perfect recreation, but using modern components that won't break. And this guy's insane. Like, his slogan on his t-shirt is basically F your ears. And my God, we turned it up. Me and John Brown from Monuments, we turned that up and sludged through it. And you could feel your fillings in your teeth rattling. And you hit a chord and it punched you in the chest. I've never heard anything like it from a guitar amp. It was insane. But it also sounded really, really good. It wasn't just loud for the sake of it. It was just really good. Yes. So, yeah, these new headphones arrived the day before I left, and I took them with me, and they've been great. These are the Austrian Audio Hi-X 55s.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So these are really cool.
I've not seen them or heard them yet.
Yeah, they sound really, really good. Punchy, relatively neutral. The headphone connector jack twists and comes out, so if you need to separate it, it locks, but it's easy to unlock. It's really nice. So I'm going to do a review video on these as well, but so far, I'm pretty impressed. The question is whether it's going to replace my HD 650s, and that is a big question.
Right.
But I'll have to spend some real time with them, because I got minimal editing time while I was out there, but when I did use these, they've been absolutely solid and haven't sounded weird at any point, which is what I'm always listening for with closed back headphones, is like peaks or just muffliness or weirdness is the only way I can describe it. And there was none of that. Same headphones that Glenn talked about today. They're very same. These are those, yeah. So these arrived the day before I flew out to Germany. So I've only just had time to just about get to grips with them. So far, I'm impressed. But I will put them through the paces and really try and do an objective review. Because as far as I'm aware, I'm not doing a paid sponsored thing for these. These have just been sent to me to try them, to talk about them.
Yep.
Yes. Although, speaking of Austrian Audio, I've also had the OC818 in the studio, and that's been impressive.
That's the mic, right?
It is. If anyone saw the live stream that I did last week, where I mixed that Mischwald track, that really impressed me then. So if you're looking for a sound demo of that, you can go back to that stream and listen to when I was reamping guitars. Because, that was really...
you used it to reamp with?
Yes, I did. And it was really impressive. And so, that. And then I also used it. I pulled it right back for a clean part, put it at the back of the room, and used the kind of clever mid-side thing to make the clean guitars sound bigger. And it worked.
All right.
It worked like a charm. Worked first time. Yeah, so with that, I'm very impressed as well. I want to do some more extensive tests with that, but like everybody knows, I've been away. But I'm back now, and I got T-shirts for everybody, as long as everybody is me. And no, I'm not running them with SonarWorks because there is, as of yet, not a profile for SonarWorks. But I've sent them an email to see what they can do, see if they can do something. But in the meantime, I'm not even sure it feels like I need them. Anyway, we've been talking for a little while. Shall we do the news?
The news.
Time for the news.
The news.
The news. So, the news. Let's start with a big one. Is Allen and Heath poised to buy Tractor from Native Instruments? I'm just going to turn the headphone volume up a little. There we go. There are rumours that Allen and Heath are about to buy Tractor, which is...
Do they do a lot in the DJ world?
I don't think so. But maybe that's the strategic thing, because they do a lot in the live sound world.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a
We've
big
got
gap for them. And this might be quite clever of them. But I'll be very interested to see what comes of this, because Tractor has been successful for a number of years, which begs the question. Oh, actually, I was going to say begs the question, why would Native Instruments sell it? But apparently Native Instruments have been doing staff layoffs. There have been some very nasty allegations recently. Just last week, the company founders stepped down, Native Instruments, so that's not good. So it could be that Alan and Heath are looking to take advantage of the situation and maybe offer them a lump sum, which could arguably help save the company, in exchange for something that could integrate with Alan and Heath. Say with their mixers, they could mix an Alan and Heath quality mixer with Tractor DJ controls. That could be very interesting. If you end up like a one-stop shop product that is decent build quality, that all the non-vinyl DJs can just go out and go, I want that one. I want that one. Yeah, I know. That could be a very, very interesting prospect. By the way, for anyone who's watching, I am drinking an old-fashioned, as I have been recently. Cheers. Do feel free, if you are of legal drinking age in your area, to drink along with the stream. Please drink responsibly and all that.
I got a coffee.
Coffee at this time? You're insane, man. Mind you never stop working.
No. Not at the moment.
No, not ever. So, moving on. Kim... What?
I was just saying busy week. Go for it.
When is it not a busy week? Yeah. So, anywho, Kemper releasing their 7.5 OS now with an acoustic simulator. The more I read about this kind of stuff, the more I want to buy a Kemper, because they're adding more and more clever features. And yeah, they've just released Rig Manager 3.0, which I'm guessing will be easier to use. Phase widener. No, that's a MacBook.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't see the keyboard went the way the screen was.
Fair enough. Although, having said that, I suppose if they move to making Rig Manager for iPad, it then would be touch screen. That could be quite nice.
Yeah.
I mean, as it is, the Kemper's got all the touch buttons on the front, so you're not a million miles away with having the physical interface there. But there is, I'm sure, some extra versatility to doing it with the software.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was like a software thing to it, so I thought the screen was part of the device.
That would be nice, but yeah, the screen's still this rubbish little black and white thing. But to be honest, the colours are nice on the Axe effects, but they don't do anything sound-wise. So I suppose that's always been a clever thing from Professor Kemper, that he's keeping his costs down by not putting money into shiny. Although it would be nice if it didn't look like a toaster.
And I kind of like it.
I kind of like it, but it looks like a toaster.
Toast is good.
Yeah, toast is good. Oh, I should eat more toast.
I just had toast. We just had breakfast for dinner. Good.
Oh, there's a delay widener, which is that classic kind of one side of stereo field massiveness thing that messes with mono, but if you just want bigness, that's now in there. Bigness, yeah. Oh, there's auto swell. So basically the Boss slow gear is now included. That's amazing. I always love effects like that. In fact, Chris loves effects like that. Christian. That's one of his favourite effects, is you want to smack a string and it goes and does that thing without you having to mess around. So yeah, I do think that Kemper may be in our future, looking at the crystal ball. Yes. Especially as we have all the lovely amps and cabinets that we have, why would we not capture them for the Kemper? And then sell them for money. What? No, just for me. Just because I like the tones. So, this really made me laugh this week. This is a new PRS private stock snarling tiger. It's disgusting.
That is one of the worst illustrations of a tiger I've ever seen.
Yeah. Everyone's joking on the internet calling it the tiger worm.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Pretty much exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. Yeah, it's not pretty. Disgusting.
See, that's why that's designed through corporation. I swear of it, because they've decided that they wanted the graphic to fill X portion of it, and then they've told the artist to make sure it does. So they've literally just done that.
Yeah.
And now it looks like that.
It
probably looked pretty good on Photoshop to begin with, and then they've just stretched it to fit.
The real kicker is, do you want to guess the price?
Stupid.
Yes. Warmer.
1,100.
Higher.
God, 1,400.
In US dollars. Higher.
Okay, in US dollars, 17.
Higher.
Jesus. Go on.
21,990. So nearly $22,000 for that mess.
I mean, I was trying to be a little bit lower than I really thought, so that I didn't overdo it. And you go, oh well, no, it's not that much. But fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Now, see if I can drop a picture into. Yeah, there we go. If this will load up, I'll have to let that. There we go. This guitar on the left, this is a Nick Huber. And this guitar absolutely blew me away. I can't quite get the bottom of it on here because Chrome's weird, but look at that finish. Mm-hmm. And that guitar weighed absolutely nothing because it was chambered from here right the way through, and it sang, and it just felt wonderful and was like, if I had infinite money, I would instantly buy that. Problem is, the price on that was €8,500.
Mm-hmm.
But that was
a big difference between that and 18, 19 grand. Though.
Yeah, but that was master built by Nick Huber himself, and that's the difference.
But with Legos.
Yeah. Yes. And oh my word! I mean, the build quality on this, and it turns out Nick Huber, who I met at Gear Street, was originally trained by Paul Reed Smith, so he really knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely thought there was some sort of like witchcraft going on because I could throw that to you with one hand. I wouldn't, but I could.
No.
And yeah, but the way that he'd done it, he was telling me that the wood was a solid block right the way down up until just behind the bridge there. And that's it. And then so it was all hollow. It chambered. And oh my word, it was what I wouldn't give for that guitar. You'll see me playing it.
It's really nice.
Yeah, you'll see me playing it in a couple of videos. I think I played it on a video that's going on Jack Gardner's channel. And yeah, it just sings. Yeah, what a thing. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. So, news, that was from that to that. No.
Yeah. No, boo.
Boo indeed. So, from that to kind of cool, Jack White is auctioning off a lot of his stuff. Probably guitars that play like hell. Oh no, there's a couple of what I think Music Man's in there. White Stripes gear. Yeah, a couple of Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang's in there. But it's all going to charity, so that's cool. So, yeah, that's good. I'm sure he's decided it's just taking up too much space and he's never going to use some of it again. And so, yeah, charity. Good on him. Absolutely, yeah, good on the man. So let's see. There's a Framer arch top, which I'd probably quite like. The drum set from the Hardest Button to Button video. Do you remember that video with that kick drum where there was millions of Meg White? Yeah, that exact kick drum's going up for sale. So that's cool. That Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang that's been highly modified. I don't know what this blue thing's all about, but that's cool. Yeah. Apparently it's some kind of pedal called a Mabaroshi. Some weird fuzz. But then I suppose now he's got his deal with the plasma pedal with his record company. He's not going to use that again.
Right.
But yeah, the auction runs from yesterday for the next 3 days at Online Nashville Auctions. So if you're watching this video and you have lots of money and are a Jack White fan, get down there, get on it. I mean, that's quite a relative niche, but you know. This I thought was interesting. Audified have made a compressor called the Vocal Mint, which is one knob, which is what some people want. They want simple. And I was only saying in the chat, in the Discord, this morning maybe, or yesterday, someone was talking about how to level vocals. And I said, well, I use 3 stages of compression in a row. Like a fast one, a slow one, and a general leveler. And it seems like somebody's done that in a single knob. So you don't have to overdo it. Just having many compressors doesn't mean that's lots of compression. It just means they all do different things. And that's really, really cool. So apparently it's got a smash compressor, analog valve compressor, and a multi-band compressor. Very, very clever. And there's a little bit of EQ shaping inside there as well, which is very, very cool. And it's $79 and runs on pretty much all the platforms. So if that's what you're looking for, is something that does that thing nice and easy, there it is. Yeah, so from...
Nice. It's cool looking, very modern looking.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I've never been a big fan of oversimplification, but then I am a massive nerd. So, you know. Sometimes I do, though, if I'm trying to do a mix really quick and I just need a result now. That's often been useful for me, things like this. So yeah, might be worth checking out. Now, PRS made that disgusting guitar. They've also made this guitar stand, which I think is really cool. But apparently it looks like a banana hanger. What's your opinion on this guitar stand?
Yeah.
Not particularly impressed?
The curvature will make it more... be able to hold more weight.
Yeah.
If you got really heavy, and make it easier to move.
Possibly. I think it also gets it out of the way of the guitar. So if the guitar's got a bit of an odd shape, it's not going to swing and instantly clang onto it.
I suppose if someone knocks it as well. Like,
yeah, there we go.
But then
so
again,
you can see it from the front there. So it's Henning had a wooden stand a lot like this in his studio, and the one thing I noticed is it needed a clear foot of space around it. But if you had the space, it just made a guitar stand out really nicely.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, but just you have to have the space for it. Which, yeah, as big as my control room is, by the time you put all the guitars, the sofas, the console, yada 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 in there, don't really have space for one of these as well. Cool though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Definitely not a banana hanger. Yeah.
You probably could put bananas on it, though, right?
Yeah. PRS banana hanger. Yes, banana for scale.
God, that's a giant banana if that's the scale.
Yeah. It's one of your 5 a day. So that is $140, and actually that's quite reasonable for what it is. It's almost tempting.
Yeah, but...
if it was $500 or whatever it is for some art piece, I'd be like, no way.
How much is a normal guitar stand?
Probably about 30 or 40 for a good solid one. You know, one of the boring black kind of, yeah. Because anything cheaper than that, I wouldn't trust a several £1,000 like PRS or whatever on it. In the middle of a room, anyway.
Yeah, it depends on what guitar you put on. If you've got something really nice you want to display, then yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a display stand, I would have thought, rather than just a practical stand. And as it
Definitely
stands, no pun intended, I think that's quite a nice one. But yeah, I mean, for that price, that's okay. For me. But now it's time for Behringer Corner.
Ooh, yay!
So Behringer have made the ARP 2500 as Eurorack separate modules, and they're now available for pre-order. And let's have a look. Oh my word. So the ARP 2500, when it came out, was a very expensive synth. And these synth modules, I would have expected to be at least 200 quid each. So the dual envelope generator, this first one, £51. The dual envelope...
Behringer.
Yep, and the rest are all £88 for the module filter dual envelope generator with more stuff. Yeah, so it's £88 for the all the others and £51 for the one on the left. That is so cheap. That is surprisingly cheap. They are not
even surprising for Behringer. I mean, come on, it's Behringer.
Well, there's cheap and there's cheap. So yeah, they've really decided with this one we're going to undercut everybody. And fair play, I guess. Yeah. So yes, I might just drop a link in the description to some of these as an affiliate link.
Yeah, definitely.
If somebody wants it.
I want to come down to the studio one day and just kind of turned into an EDM artist with just Behringer all around you, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll be like a knockoff German version of Deadmau5. Have you seen his studio tours?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I used to watch him on Twitch quite a lot.
All right. Yeah.
He used to do live mixes and stuff in between playing PUBG until he got pissed off with Twitch and left. I think he might have gone back actually during the whole lockdown thing. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know when it was that you stopped watching, but a couple of years ago, yeah, Linus Tech Tips did a tour of his studio, and yeah, he had loads of really cool stuff. They had a massive LAN party rig as well, which was awesome.
Yeah, the round circle thing.
I think so. Big table with loads of computers on it, so they could all play Call of Duty or whatever it was. But then when they weren't playing Call of Duty, they could do rendering on them.
Yeah, it was last year that I was watching quite a lot.
Right, so yeah, you will have seen a lot of that stuff. Very cool.
Yeah, because he started, he played a lot with Dr. Disrespect and Tim Tapman and stuff for a while.
Yeah, speaking of which,
I think he had visions of turning pro at pub. He had, sorry,
the doc is back. We've not talked about it.
Nope, no one still knows. So it's
no
interesting.
one knows why. Yeah.
Well, there was an interview that he did do in one magazine, and essentially he started trying to talk about something, and his publicist cut him off.
I saw that.
And essentially he's suing Twitch right now, but we've got no idea. It's bizarre. The crazy thing though. The guy could have done something horrific that would just be would cancel him, but Twitch have said not to, or it could just be that Twitch are being really shady, or it could be that he's just done something a bit shady towards Twitch. So yeah,
it's all a little
really
bit weird.
Interestingly, it seems there was a lot of a lot of Twitch higher ups were giving out false information around the time of it when he got kicked as well, so that everyone had the wrong information and different ideas. Like they had a complete sort of, what's the phrase, using kind of information just to kind of make it so no one knew what was going on. Really, really weird. They actively didn't want anyone to know. So, no idea. Conspiracy lives on.
Yes. I do need
did you see how he came back though? Because it is they came back by releasing a song.
I didn't see that.
His first stream was a stream, it was genius. So his first stream was like a 45-minute stream of nothingness, coming soon, followed by essentially just a green screen music video of him singing into the rain,
right,
in the darkness, just to say that he's coming back the next day. So he ended up with 2 days of 500,000 concurrent people watching him on YouTube.
Well,
very
he did
clever,
nothing.
Very clever. Yeah, well, the second one he streamed, but yeah.
Right, of course. But
so rather than just coming
very, very
out,
clever.
he just started streaming on YouTube without saying anything. Had a stream starting soon thing for an hour or something, and then the only thing in the stream was, "I'll be back tomorrow." which meant that everyone could then tell their friends that, oh, the doc's coming back, he might tell us. Do you know what I mean? So then he had even more followers watching the next day.
Smash all the records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see.
It's clever. It's very clever. If you're going to do it right. Yeah, so, oh, wow. The tiredness keeps hitting me because even though we were only an hour time difference, we were up at pots and pans every morning. God. Yeah, we'd be up at 8 for breakfast at 9 to be ready for filming at 10 every morning, which is fine when you've not been up till 4 in the morning. And yeah, that's my own fault. But yeah, made some very good friends doing this. I absolutely cannot get Andy Ferris's song out of my head, which is if you look on Andy Ferris, the Guitar Geeks YouTube channel, he made a video before the whole Gear Street event, which was basically just a song that was, we're going to Deutschland, we're going to Germany for the second year of 42 Gear Street, and so on and so on. And it was, oh my word. Hilarious. So yes, I can see the chat for anybody who's asking. It's not coming up on screen. Restream seems to be having issues every week with this. I'm going to see if there's some sort of fix. But yeah, I can see the YouTube chat, so do not worry. But yeah, I mean, Marty says it was awful. I thought it was brilliant. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It was terrible, but in the best possible way. And yeah, one of the particular nights, me and Andy ended up grabbing the acoustic guitar and singing everyone a load of songs. And we were dubbed Simon and Bifocal. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And yes, it was my own stupid idea to do a vocal demo for Lewitt microphones. So next week at some point, you should hear me doing a bluesy cover of a Norah Jones song. But I have to have the indignity of sitting through and listening to it several times whilst I edit the audio. And then put that out. But yeah, Lewitt Audio have got a very cool microphone coming out, which I definitely want to get hold of. They're 3D printing their prototypes of it.
All right.
Yeah, very clever. So they've discovered that, you know, when companies prototype stuff, usually it costs them a lot of money. It's got to get done, and then it turns out it's not right. So they spend another month waiting for the next prototype. With them 3D printing them, they can very quickly iterate, which I thought was very clever. So they brought the latest prototype out of the 1040 valve microphone. And the power supply was actually 2 separate bits, which I thought was really, really cool. That all the controls and everything could be taken off like a remote control. And by an XLR cable, you could run them up to 100 meters away. So I could actually have the remote control for the microphone on a cable in the control room while the singer's in the vocal booth.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so I could change things like it had different types of valve sound and some very clever knobs and dials to make it sound very different. Without me having to go in and disturb the singer, I could just mess around with what I need. Yeah, oh, Studio Shamil. Oh, that's Michiel. Hello, Michiel. Yes, pedals and pedals and pedals and pedals and pedals and pedals and pedals. We demoed so many pedals this week. It was dizzying by the end. Yeah, we had Wampler, we had Palmer, we had Carl Martin Audio, we had Jupiter Effects. Many, many more. My brain's starting to fry. Those are definitely the ones that I did pedal demos for. There were more. But yeah, it was so absolutely... Then the first 3 days were so hot. Was it really hot in the UK over last week?
Not really, no. Not compared to what we've had.
Oh, I landed on the Wednesday.
When I was watching last week's stream, you were saying how warm it was.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's not that warm here.
Yeah, it was 35 degrees, and then it was 37 the day after that. And yeah, trying to film videos in that kind of heat was delirious. But yeah, we battled through it, and that's part of the reason why the week went so fast, is that we all just had to get our heads down and just carry on. Yeah. But I did get Jen Majora, the guitarist from Evanescence, to play on one of my videos, 2 of my videos. She was lovely. So yeah, have I ever shown you some of the stuff from Blue Cat Audio, one of the plug-in makers that I use? They make like virtual amps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was there. The guy from Blue Cat, Guillaume, was there, and he's such a lovely bloke that I sat him down in front of Henning's computer and got him to change all the settings, and then I got Jen to play guitar for me while we talked about the product. It was great. I hosted the video by standing at the back so I was socially distanced, and just made them do things. It was great. So yeah, that's been edited, and I spent most of the week playing a bass with an aluminium neck, which was surprisingly ace. Yeah, that's the one that's my profile picture, yeah. It was pretty much the only bass there, which is why I picked it, but then when I got used to it, apart from the neck dive, because the neck was so heavy, the tone was incredible. Talk about clarity. Yeah, it was a meter-long plank of metal. If anything's going to ring, it's what's essentially a baseball bat with strings attached. Yeah. The thing was, that thing had no truss rod or anything because it was milled aluminium. It was just not going to bend. You didn't need one. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was very much a metal bass. So I really got along with the guy who makes them, Dirk from Bagley Guitars. So hopefully I'm going to get one of his necks sent to me. And then I'm going to need to have a bass built around it. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, but because I know about the issues with the weight and that kind of thing, the actual weight itself doesn't bother me. It's just the balance. So I've already been thinking about things like how do you change the balance? Like extend the horn out so that it reaches further, so the center of where it's hanging is further over. And like try and make sure the wood in the middle of the body is really light, but at the back at the end it sticks out a bit and is heavy, so that it sticks out and does that Newtonian balance thing. So yeah, been thinking about that a lot and thinking about ways to compensate and make for a really nice instrument that isn't unwieldy to play. So I may be contacting one of our mad local friends to do something experimental.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, because our friend Stephen, he does experimental and he does it well. So yes, there may be some experimenting involved. That'll be a lot of fun. Yes. And so, yeah, those were some of the highlights for me, and you'll see many, 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 many videos on all of this on the channel for about the next 100 years. We filmed so much content. There were pieces of gear there that we can't talk about yet because they've not been released. I didn't do any reviews on the stuff that's not been released yet, so I'm a little more comfortable to talk about what I did without being worried about tripping over NDAs and release dates, but I just have to be careful not to mention the things the other boys were working on. We had a couple of tech issues over the week, which is to be expected. A couple of times a video didn't save or a microphone wasn't engaged, but considering the number of videos we did, we ironed most of that out fairly quickly.
That's good.
Yeah, so Michiel, who was the organizer there, he's in our chat. Hello, dude. He was the guy who we all went to if we wanted to book a particular film studio. We were all given 7 poker chips, and we had to go to him with the poker chips and say, I want this studio at this time, here's my chip. That way we didn't kind of tread on each other's toes and no one got far too many videos.
You play poker with the chips.
Oh, God. Oh, that would have been terrible because I would have been cleaned out on day one.
I know, just like we're just being like the Don of 42 Gay Street. If you want to film, you have to do something for me.
To be fair, that's more kind of how it went because generally we would be in teams of 3. It worked really nicely that everybody was happy to pitch in. So generally speaking, we'd form a team of 3, like a temporary alliance. It would be, let's say I was the host of a video. I would have a guest player on the video, and a third person would be running the switcher. And then, so it might be a 15-minute video, but at the end of that, we'd all kind of get up and do musical chairs. So without changing the setup or anything like that, so there's no turnaround time, suddenly we're on that guy's channel. He's the host, I'm the guest player, and the other guy's switching.
Right, okay.
So it worked really well, really efficiently, because that way we got loads and loads of content without having to do turnover every hour, turnover. Well, turnover every 10 minutes anyway. We did turnover every hour. It was dizzying after a while. And yes, we got so much done. It was brilliant.
How was the food?
The food was immense. I was slightly disappointed that I didn't get any German sausage at any point. But then when the entire menu's in German, you don't really know what you're after. So I picked schnitzel one night, and the schnitzel was great. But I always thought schnitzel was sausage. I think that's Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah, isn't it like some like cabbagey thing?
No, schnitzel's a big kind of flat meat thing.
Right.
So it was really nice. It was just not German sausage. But next time I'm going, I'll be, because I'm sure I'll be back at Hennings at some point. After the lockdown's lifted, I'll be looking at flight times and just turn up like, hi. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Turn up at Henning's doorstep. So, what are we doing this week? And yeah, it went so well. We were discussing the possibility of doing more of that kind of thing in future. So, there's nothing confirmed on that side. So, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up or anything because there's a lot of ifs. We've literally just flown back. So, it's all very nebulous right now. But yes, Henning did give me a German sausage. No. We are hoping to do more of this kind of thing in the future, and I'll leave it that vague because there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to talk about what ifs. Right now, obviously, nothing's going to happen because everybody's still very careful and very cautious with the entire global situation, shall we say.
Yeah, when winter's coming, we don't know.
No, but we can make tentative plans and say, if this, if that, how about? So, cool things might be around the corner, and if not, we can still do things remotely.
Skypes.
Yes, many Skypes. Talking of which, I think we're going to have guests on this podcast for the foreseeable future, which is going to be brilliant.
Yeah, so let's get you filling me, guys. I want to be in the chat, it looks like, being relegated.
Or we could have a 3-person podcast. That would also be fine.
This is nothing I can do with that. Yeah, we can do some 3-ways.
Yes.
It's a little bit, I don't know, I do enjoy them, but I do feel like depends on who it is. Like if it's pure just tech or something very, very sort of technical, then I find it's probably better. It's better when you and them just kind of go nuts. If it's someone where there's elements of, I don't know, any form of the business side or performance or sort of social element to it, then yeah, I can join in sort of industry wise. But I think when it's like, I don't know, like cab manufacturers, I can say that I like the look of a cab, but when you start talking about the internals of a speaker, I don't really have much to add.
Yeah, well, most of the
my newbie questions from the chat to help out.
Most of the guys from Gear Street were not that tech nerdy inclined, I would say. I was definitely by far one of the more nerdy, technical, super. Me and Henning were probably the two that were most like that. A lot of the guys were incredible guitar players and could talk to you all day about like scales and stuff that make my eyes go funny and make my head hurt. But when I start talking about like why a speaker sounds the way it does and that kind of thing, they just sit there and go like, "Huh, cool." So that, funnily enough, was a definite strength for me at Gear Street because a lot of the guys that were there. They use gear all the time and they can show you what it does sound-wise. I can talk to you all day about why it does what it does and how things interact and all that kind of thing. And it seemed like a really good pairing of the two for some of these guys, because I could talk about like, well, if you clean this up, add more mids, it sounds like this, and then get them to play a really tasty guitar lick, something like that. And it was just like, oh yes. And then watching the reaction on their face as they get the tone they've been looking for, perfect. So yeah, I really do think there's going to be a lot more of that kind of thing between me and those guys in the future, because that works for me. It's what I do and complements what they do. So yes. So yeah, do Jen as a guest. I'll ask Jen if she's up for guesting on the podcast at some point. Why not? Yeah, Jen's stuck at home in Germany, climbing the walls and waiting to get back. From what she was saying, Evanescence, they all live very close to each other over in LA, apart from Jen. And so they've all been in the studio working on new material, and she's at home like, guys. So yeah, she's looking for things to do. So I might well be able to convince her to be on the podcast. And then, of course, there's my new friend John Brown from Monuments. He's an absolute beast of a player. He is wicked, and he's the angriest man I've ever met in a funny way as well. But he runs a company called Riff Hard, who teach how to do really tight rhythm guitar playing, because it turns out nobody else is really doing that. Oh, hello. Camera fail. What happened?
My internet keeps freezing.
Oh, weird. You've only dropped out once. But yeah, that was weird.
One time you didn't realise I was out. I was just like...
Oh. I thought that was just your reaction.
Yeah, no.
Bizarre. So yeah, I think some of those guys would be really good on the channel. And then there's Andy Ferris, the guitar geek. He's a little geekier, but he's the most charming man. He's really nice. And I think at some point soon I'm going to be on his podcast as well, which is how to make money off playing guitar, which I've seen some of the episodes of that, and they've all been massively varied, which has really fascinated me, that all the well-known YouTubers and guitar players that are on there, if you just ask the question, well, how do you make money off YouTube? Not asking the questions like how much or anything vulgar like that, but just how have you got to where you've got to? Some of those answers have been fascinating about the routes that people have took to where they are now. And so, yeah, it'd be really interested to talk to Andy about that. And yeah, I was going to ask John to be on the podcast next week, but he's so mad busy with Riff Hard and the Riff Hard podcast. It might be a couple of weeks before we get John in there. But yeah, he really, really does what he does well. And every time he sat down with a guitar next to me and started playing, everybody who walked past was walking past going, whoa! Because of all the guitarists there, a lot of them were like blues and rock players doing really tasty solo licks. John doesn't do a lot of that, but when he started sitting down to play rhythms, it was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, just heavy, tight, clear. And even, yeah, some of the guys with 30 years experience were walking past going, whoa. So, yeah, I think a lot of the guitar players at Gear Street really learnt things from each other this week, and it's been really rewarding for all of us. I certainly learnt some new guitar tricks, which is really useful as a bass player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it means that I then know how to complement those things and how to play against them without sounding stupid.
Right, okay.
Because like if a guitarist does a really clever like doodle-doodle-doodle kind of thing, if I can either match that on bass, which sounds incredible when you can do that, or if I can play something that works alongside it, those are the kind of chops that session bass players really need.
Yeah.
Because I can go dump, dump, dump all day long, but then so can everybody else. What makes me stand out? That's the question. And yeah, I did a video with, I used an Engel Powerball, and Engel, their amps are known for metal. I used it on bass. It sounded great. And yeah, I got Jack Gardner, who's one of the best guitarists out there right now, to play some tasty blues licks with an Engel Fireball whilst I played bass with an Engel. And it sounded not like what you would expect at all, and it was really nice. And that video is going to be out probably about a week from now. There's so much editing to finish, but that one's ready to go. But I don't want to flood my channel with all these videos all in one go, because that would just not do anybody any favors. Having said that, I'll drop some of those in the Patreon as soon as I possibly can. I'll be checking out, in fact, I'll do that tonight. Any of the things that I've talked about that are ready edited will be there for you to see as a patron of the channel. And that's our way of saying thank you to you for your support. Yes. So, yeah, that's...
So you do it again then?
Absolutely. I'd do it again right now. I'd get back on another plane and go straight back. A lot of us were saying at the end of the week, we would love to do it again. Take a couple of days off and sleep, but then just do it straight again, because the people, the setting, everything was just brilliant. And we all felt at the end like there just wasn't enough time to do everything we wanted to do. Nobody was sick of each other. And yeah, which again is surprising after a 6-day stint with some rather strong personalities.
Yeah.
But everybody was just really, really good to each other. Like, just a personal example, we'd been talking, we had a little Facebook group chat before we turned up to make sure that everybody was on the same page, yada, and all that stuff like you do with group bookings. And one of the lads, Jamie, had mentioned that he lives in Sweden now and you can't really get Yorkshire tea. Just one of those things, Yorkshire tea. So I went on Amazon and I ordered a box of Yorkshire tea to turn up at Henning's house while we were there. Which I thought, a little thing. It's just a nice little thing. It didn't cost much. Yeah. And the look on his face when it turned up, I thought he was going to kiss me. And then I had to be like, social distancing. But yeah, it's the little things that, go a long way. And that's just an example I can think of that I did. But there are loads of other little things. We were all looking after each other and making sure that, nobody got left behind and that kind of thing. Like there were a couple of lads there who had really small YouTube channels in terms of viewers, and a couple of people who had some really big channels. A guy that I really got on with was a guy called Carl Golden. Carl Golden, absolute diamond of a lad, nearly 250,000 subscribers, does a lot of covers on his channel. Hopefully we'll be doing something together in the future, because we really hit it off as, musically, as a, musical partnership, I suppose you'd call it. But there was another lad there, Lee Fuge, and he's been a demo guy for Black Star, and he's done loads of stuff, but it's only recently that he's got into YouTube. And I think as we left, as we left for Gear Street, he had 500 subscribers. By the time we left, he had nearly 1,000, because we were all directing people towards his channel.
That's cool.
Because we want him to do well. We want his channel to bloom and blossom and be alongside where the others of us are. It wasn't all about the number of subscribers that any of us had. Oop, there he goes. Bless you. But yeah, that was one of the best things, is there was no, my channel's bigger than yours, because it didn't matter. I thought that was really, really good. It was, we all do this for a living. Let's help each other out. Let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah, we had some very deep conversations as well about like how each of us do what we do. And like there was one guy, Tom from Elevated Jam Tracks. We looked at his advertising revenue, and it was really interesting how what he does is he makes these jam tracks that are really cool jam tracks you can play along with. You never see above here on his shirt. Nobody on the internet knows his face. He's not a public eye YouTuber. That was really interesting to me. And what struck me as really interesting is he did earn more through ad revenue than I currently earn. But the number of views that he had was something like 10 times as many. And so the numbers didn't match. But it was really interesting that his viewership style and a lot of the viewers that he has are not necessarily, worth what a single one of the viewers for this channel is. Thank you, by the way, to all you at home. You are worth a lot to us. But it's
you appeal to people that are actually going to buy stuff, that are looking to buy a new amp or a new guitar or a new mixer, etc.
Exactly. Yeah.
They work based on. So what it'll be is, because the studio channel, like, people have bought from the adverts on the channel, and given the number of viewers, we've probably got a really high conversion rate. Therefore, the algorithms say, when people basically, they try and search, okay, we're going to target to people that are like people that bought from my website. And this may be, let's say the Shure website, for instance. Yeah. They go, oh, well, there's people that buy in that category, and there's loads of them on here, even though it's small. So we'll send traffic there, and we'll charge them more because we're sending them viewers that are likely to buy. So yeah, most likely that. A lot of ad stuff this week as well. So
yeah, well, that's exactly it. But it was just interesting, again, comparing numbers like for like and going, so that's, because we could actually see from numbers where his numbers and my numbers were very different. But he appeals to a different audience than I do, and that's okay. But it was just enlightening to see practical examples of different approaches. Yeah. I don't think any of us who were there were really going to change our ways to chase a certain lifestyle, but it was just interesting to see the proof in a way that I do what I do and it works. Yeah. It's quite gratifying in a way. But also an indicator that more work should be done and we need to grow more and be the best and be big, but in our own way. And yeah, we'll do that, and it's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you plus more there. So that may be a really nice note to end the stream on.
Very good. So it's good to have you back in the country, safe and in one piece.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm glad you had a lot of fun.
Yes, me too, because it's only just worth the exhaustion now. I feel like I could go and sleep for another 16 hours. Oh boy. Oh, I nearly fell asleep on the plane on the way back, which, there was another 2 hours to get home after that. And oh boy. What a week that was. So much running around. It was physically exhausting as well, because Henning's house and all the houses that are on Gear Street are on a hill like that. And so if you want to go between one house and the next, you're constantly hill running.
Right.
So yeah. Knackering. Doing it the first couple of times, absolutely fine, but after the couple of 100th time, you just want to keel over. But worth it all in the end.
I think Virgin's not leaving because I keep getting really 5-second dropouts, but all the time.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, very strange.
I'll check it out. Oh god, I've just won another cab on eBay. This one's an Ampeg though. Ampegs are good. Yes. Now I'll have to find time to go and get that.
Our new internet is delayed by 45 days because of a tree.
A tree? Oh god, there's a tree. Oh.
Because there's a tree, the company that's doing the internet now has to get a new Ofcom license.
Really? Wow.
New Ofcom because of tree. Headline, tree fact.
Reason for application, tree.
Yep.
Oh dear. But yeah, we're going to get so much internet that we're going to be we're going to be interneting in your face all the time, ladies and gentlemen. So much internet.
We're going to do podcasts when we're back in the studio. We can do them in 4K without an issue.
Yeah. It's going to get to the point where there's going to be so much internet there that any of the big uploads that I'm doing for the big videos, it'll be quicker to save it to the hard drive and drive to the studio.
It will be, yeah.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah, it's stupidly. And especially the fact because you've not got any variation on bandwidth when you're using dedicated. So it's 500 up and it stays at 500 the whole way. So
that's...
Anyway.
Yes. That's all in the future, but yes, we will come to you in ultra super internet or vision at some point and watch
so when are these new videos to Patreon?
I will, as soon as we've finished on the stream, start putting them on Patreon right now.
Ooh, so if you're dying for some content, sign up to Patreon right now, and you'll have a whole bucket load.
Yes. Yeah, I've got 5 videos already edited right now, which are going to go up with the hashtag 42GS2.
Go pour yourself a nice glass of wine, run yourself a nice hot bath, put your iPad on the side, and sign up to Patreon and watch Adam for the next hour. Yes.
So yeah, if you do that, you'll see videos from me with John Brown from Monuments, Jack Gardner, and Jen from Evanescence. So that's a decent amount of sitting down and watching. Yeah.
Ash will be jealous. I like Evanescence when she was younger.
Evanescence are awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jen from Evanescence is really awesome. Good fun. Yeah, I mean, she's one of those people as well. She'd brought the latest Ibanez Steve Vai model, the Pia, which is a several £1,000 guitar. Beautiful thing. That's her new signature. And she literally just first thing after I said, like, hi, I'm Adam, she's like, hi, I'm Jen. Shall we do a video together? Yeah, sure. Do you want to play my signature guitar? Yeah, okay, why not? Catch. And she throws this £3-something £1,000 guitar at me. I'm just, in a manner of speaking, she didn't launch it, but it's just like, yeah, try it. It's like, woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, she's cool. So, yes, that was a highlight of my week. And yeah, what a week it was. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying the Synergy stuff. But yeah, let's not get on another big bleh. It's time to sign off.
Yes. Bye-bye, everybody. Until next week.
Bye-bye. Until then, goodbye. Hey, everyone. That might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server. Link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hop Hole Studios. See you there.